We all know it's Virat Kohli's birthday. We all know everyone wants to party, which is why Team India was in a hurry and they have bundled up South Africa for 83 runs. Yet another comprehensive win. Yet another win on the trot. Everything going right for India. Virat Kohli getting that 100. Shreyas Iyer supporting him well with 77. And then the bowlers coming in and doing what they've been doing. Ravindra Jadeja, 5 for 33. Kuldeep Yadav got 2. Shami got 2. We are back at Cricbuzz Live. I have Michael with me and I have Zach with me. Zach, yet another all-round performance. It's becoming like this habit every time India comes and plays.
Yeah, simply superb. Just a phenomenal campaign they're having on a roll and it's just getting better and better. Doesn't matter which opposition they're playing against. They're just coming up with superb performances. It's been a dominating league phase for the Indian team, winning 8 out of 8. I mean, it can't get better than this.
You know, Michael, they were playing at the Eden Gardens. They made it look like a walk in the park for sure today. Comprehensive yet again, deserving of what a champion team is.
Yeah, I mean, it is like it's like India are obviously the men's team, and they're playing under 15s. They're just absolutely blowing teams away. I mean, bowling South Africa out for just over 80. They've been in great form. Bowling striker out for 55. England for 130. There's only been one team, and that's New Zealand hit them for 273. That's the highest that any team has hit this Indian bowling attack for. Afghanistan hit them for 272. So you're kind of looking at this World Cup, unless they have an almighty blip on a semi-final or I think if they get to the final, they'll be fine. There'll be just so many people there. It'd be very difficult for whoever they play, but the semi-final is the only game. It happened in 2019, it happened in 2015, but they just look too good. I've actually just tweeted, if Bumrah doesn't get you, Siraj will get you. If Siraj doesn't get you, Shami will get you. If Shami doesn't get you, Jadeja will get you. And by the way, if Jadeja doesn't get you, Kuldeep will get you. How do you bat against that attack?
Yeah, you know, like you said, there's always someone getting you. There have been so many super cool moments today, and our fans have come and given us some suggestions on which could be the coolest moment of the match presented by Voltas AC and Voltas Beko Refrigerator. Let's have a look at a few. Virat Kohli equals to Sachin Tendulkar. Legends of the game. Will Kohli have a little cake today? Hashtag coolest moment. Let's see what we've got. Aryan says, Captain Rohit Sharma just makes the game easy for everyone else. Short but sweet 40. Next up, we've got Keshav merely showed the trailer, but Jadeja ne full picture dikha di. Coolest moment. Well, Michael, do you think this is a very cool moment?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Jadeja. I mean, Maharaj bowled a beauty, didn't he, to Shubman Gill in the day. But Jadeja is just, in India, when you get him on a pitch that just offers a little bit of just tweak, he's just near on impossible. And I look at his, his pace, his skill levels. He can fire one in straight, and then he gets a little bit slower. The ball that got Bavuma was not quite as good as Shubman's, but it was nearly there. He'd angled into middle stump and just hit the top of off stump. Somehow, these other teams that are playing against this attack are going to have to come up with some kind of formula, because if you send out right-handers to face Jadeja, he's just going to have them on toast. He's just far too good when the ball's tweaking. He's so consistent. He's got this very simple action, very repetitive. He batted brilliantly today. He's probably up there with the best fielders in the tournament. He's an absolute gun in the field, and he bowls brilliant left-arm spin. He is, I know I speak about, he's one of my favourite cricketers in the world. I just love the way that he plays the game.
Well, we agreed with that last tweet, which is why he is our coolest moment of the match presented by Voltas AC and Voltas Beko Refrigerator. Zach, a little more on that delivery. Michael spoke about how it was similar to the one that Maharaj bowled, but just beautifully coming out of his hand today. 5 wickets, 29 runs.
And Rohit got him into the attack very quickly as well today. Maybe knowing that that's the kind of pitch, it's ideal suited for Jadeja's style of bowling. He wanted to get him early in the game. And he didn't disappoint. Dew was a concern. I think, only that factor could have gone against him today. But when Maharaj got Shubman Gill out, I think the happiest person inside the dressing room will be Jadeja, hoping that, okay, this stays, no due, this is my day, and he just went out there. He's done it time and again on these kind of surfaces with his accurate length which he bowls, the variation in pace, and just enough spin on offer is very hard to deal with, and he proved it once again.
You know, Michael, Rahul Dravid was talking about how Jadeja has been a little under the radar. He's been bowling terrifically but not getting the wickets. And today, that's another check mark and tick mark in India's list of tick marks. Got his 5 wickets, got those 29 runs. So everything going well even for Jadeja today.
Yeah, they're just being kind. They're passing him around. They're just spreading the love across the 5-prong attack. I mean, I look at this Indian side and where the semi-finals, Mumbai, Calcutta. Mumbai, they've just bowled a team out for 55. Calcutta, they've just bowled a team out for just over 80. So they're sending such a message to the rest of the tournament that they're just looking formidable. I don't see them, and I really enjoyed what Ricky Ponting said on commentary. That I think it was Harsh that said, "Oh, they're peaking too early," and he said, "Well, wait a minute, they've still got things to improve upon. You know, that batting lineup today could have got 350. They could have got 3 sixes. There's a little bit of an improvement." I don't know how they improved the bowling, I have to be honest. I don't know how you bowl any better than they have in the last 3 games in particular, but you know, you can get a little bit better. So when people start saying that India have peaked, you know, I'm with Ricky Ponting. They can get that little bit better, which is a scary thought for the rest of the tournament because they really do look unstoppable.
Well, Jadeja came to the big party today, which is why he was our coolest moment of the match, powered by Voltas AC and Voltas Beko refrigerator. Jadeja got those 5, but there was, like your tweet said it, Michael, if Siraj doesn't get you, Shami will. Shami doesn't get you, Bumrah will. If not, then Jadeja and Kuldeep will. Zach, just such an all-round performance. Bumrah not getting those wickets, but just look at that economy there.
Yeah, this bowling attack is just making a statement. There's no doubt about that, and teams will be very wary of facing this attack come semi-final day, and that's going to be a big day. So you just hope somehow with the Indian team also things have happened and they've figured out the formula also. Like we've been talking about, Shami should be picked ahead of Shardul. That wasn't happening, but somehow situation developed in such a way that they had to make that call, and they were flexible enough in their thinking to make that call. It has worked out brilliantly for them, and hence you're looking at Hardik Pandya's replacement also as a pure fast bowler rather than tilting towards an all-rounder, and that is something which they realized. They're sticking to that. These guys are delivering. So the kind of form they are in, you would hope that the chances of them not delivering it seems unthinkable at this stage.
You know, Michael, if we can just go back, whatever we speak about him is less with what Shami's done in this World Cup. You were talking about it off air. He's 47 and counting, 48 and counting. He's just going on and on. That seam position is perfect. It just looks very, very good for Shami right now.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it looks great for them all. I mean, Siraj was great tonight. Bumrah didn't get the wickets, but he sets the tone pretty much. Particularly that first over. Bumrah's first over, it's always on the money. You know, he very rarely just gives the batter an easy one off the legs or a short, wide one. And then when you think Shami then backs up the opening partnership, it's formidable. That's why I'm looking at teams of how they can play against this Indian team. I think teams are going to have to realise they're very good. And the only way to play against real quality and outstanding teams is to be aggressive. Somewhere, somehow, a team will go, well, we might as well go ultra aggressive at the top and try and knock them off the length. And it might be that you have to change your batting lineup to make sure that you've got a left-hander against Jadeja. You need to have a left-hander, so at least you're going with the spin. If you've got 2 right-handers against Jadeja in the middle, you know, he just knows how to bowl to right-handers. So don't give him the opportunity to just bowl to right-handers. So I do think it's worth teams, rather than saying, oh, we've got to the semi-final playing our way, I think this Indian side are playing so well that it is worth a team going, okay, we're up against this juggernaut. We might have to do something slightly different to try and derail them. Because if you just try and play your normal style of cricket against this Indian side, I think you'll get blown away. So I just hope 1 or 2 of the teams start looking at this, and they've got a week or so now to prepare for what might happen. You know, try something. You know, that's why, I mean, again, Ricky on commentary was great. South Africa, that was a terrible chase. But that had nothing about it. That from the minute that they walked out to bat, they were timid. They sat in their crease. They did nothing. I didn't see one batter try to just run at the seamers, try and do something. dance down the wicket, dance down, do something rather than just sit, because if you sit against quality, you're going to get blown away, and that's exactly what South Africa got.
But do you think it just went all downhill because, Quinton de Kock played on that Siraj ball, and then from there it was almost like the power play went so well for India, and it just went downhill from there on, Zach?
No, I think what Michael is trying to say is that there was no fight. You want to see that fight. At the halfway mark in this match, you are thinking, okay, maybe 280 would have been ideal. There was enough for the bowlers on the pitch. They could have. We spoke about Shamsi
Yes.
not been using the pitch the way he would have liked. So all those factors were there. Now it's about looking at the batting. Sometimes your batting needs to bail out your bowlers, and it was that kind of a day for South Africa. So you want to go out there, show that fight, show at least the intent. There was no intent. Is something which was disappointing from South Africa, especially because when you look at that batting lineup, you have enough players who've been in form. And now this is the team which we've been talking about. Okay, top of the table clash. Batters in form. You're looking at all these good names. They've delivered. Quinton de Kock have been one of the top run getters in this tournament. So you want him to set the tone. Rassie van der Dusen have scored 100. Aiden Markram, Klaassen, Miller. These are all quality batters who can put any bowling attack under pressure, and that's what they've been doing so far in the tournament. So you wanted to see that competition. You wanted to see that fight, which was not there. So batting second, South Africa, everyone have been talking about they can crumble under pressure, and that ICC tournament pressure, which we often associate this team with. Today, those things were on display, which is concerning for South Africa for sure going forward right now.
But if you can just have a little word on Rohit's captaincy, Michael, because he spoke about Bavuma and how he was a little defensive. Rohit, on the other hand, we spoke about how Jadeja came into the power play and just the way he rotated his bowlers. Yes, I know everyone came and delivered, but it's also his captaincy is very aggressive.
Yeah, it is. I mean, look, he's not been challenged as a captain. When you've got this bowling attack, I only ever judge captains when the game's tight. When your bowling team's out for 80, 55, 130, I'm sorry, as a captain, it's a dream. You stand there, you get your decisions right, you can attack, you can have 5 slips, 3 slips, 2 men on the drive. It really doesn't matter what you do because your bowling attack are dealing with it for you. You don't have to do anything really. But you must be doing a lot right behind the scenes. The way that he's batting and the way that he's setting the tone, but it's the culture of the team which is driving these performances. So he's doing everything right in the dressing room, back in the hotels, the conversations that he's having with all these players. They look so switched on. His reviews are pretty cool. I like the way he reviews. He looks like he's a bit all over the place, and then he kind of goes with the review. He got them right today. Look, captaincy is a very simple job when you've got 5 bowlers that are world class. But he might get challenged. And I look at him and I think he's in a great headspace that if he does get challenged, he'll be absolutely fine. I don't see him suddenly in a semi-final flapping. I don't see him not playing the way that he's played because it's a semi-final. I think he's going to buy into this method that he's got at the top of the order. It's the right method for this team. And I think in the field, he just knows, when I used to have Freddie Flintoff, Steve Harmson, Simon Jones, Matthew Hoggard and a bit of Ashley Jars, you'd wake up in the morning and it was like, it's pretty good, this. It's quite nice. I've got a couple bowling 90 miles an hour. I've got a tall bowler, a reverse swing bowler. I've got a swing bowler. Got Freddie Flintoff who can swing it both ways. It's quite handy to have that as a captain. And a captain is only ever as good as his bowling attack. And that's why I'll keep saying bowlers win you World Cups, batters win you a game. And I'm pretty sure Rohit will be dead honest and waking up in the morning, he must think, this is quite nice to be the Indian captain with this attack. If you go back to 2007 when Australia won every game in the World Cup and they blew, I don't remember them blowing teams away like this Indian team.
True.
This Indian team they're dismantling teams. And this is a team that's second in the league, who have played great, who have got loads of runs, they're full of confidence, and they've just flicked them away. Remarkable performances.
Zach, but Rohit at close quarters. You've seen him, how he functions in the MI. But is he someone, Michael spoke about, he's not going to flap under pressure. He spoke about this in one of his many hilarious press conferences where he says, well, everything's going all well for me right now, so it's all good. One bad game and you will all give me bad names. So he's that kind of a guy who just doesn't seem to take pressure.
The point which Michael was talking about, and he's talking it from outsider's point of view. But I'm glad that you pointed that out, that he's someone who likes to work behind the scenes as well. So what you're seeing on the pitch is something which the preparation part of that, which is a very important part with regard to his approach to captaincy, with approach to his leadership, and he likes spending time with all the guys, the support staff which is there, talking to the players, communicating with them, discussing different various scenarios, situations, and that is something which has been the hallmark. Whatever time I've spent with him, looking at him, how he approaches the game from close quarters, so that has been his strength. What I like about him is that he's very calm under pressure. He might be animated at times, but that doesn't mean that he's feeling the pressure. He's very calm in terms of backing his instincts, taking the decisions, and very switched on. That Rassie van der Dusen review, when they were taking it, he was actually more concerned about Kuldeep not chasing down that ball and stopping it from going to the boundary. I mean, that's the kind of involvement which he wants. Just the glimpse of things. But he's very switched on. And today, bringing Jadeja early in the attack, Shami has taken a fifer in the previous game. So you got to go with the flow of things, how you are seeing the pitch. As the game is unfolding, he's trying to be staying with that. So that is the important quality of him. Tactically, he's very good. He's been winning trophies. So that is something which comes naturally to him. That drive is there to think of team, and he knows to win tournaments, everything has to fall in place. And to achieve that, you got to get everyone switched on. And I think he's done a terrific job of doing that through this campaign, leading up to this campaign, defining what kind of approach the team should have, what kind of approach individuals should have. And again, you got to go back to the lead up of the World Cup and looking at that injury list.
True.
It's just how Indian management have been very clear with the communication, with the individuals, with the media, with everyone around in the team as well, exactly what is expected of them. And it looks amazing when it comes through. But in the whole process at times, you forget those things, how you've come to getting to the situation what they are in. And a lot have been gone into thinking about different scenarios. And that's why they are here at this stage.
But who's going to get the fielding award today, Michael? Because that's a hot topic of discussion on social media. The way they've been doing it is just something like fans are all waiting to see who's going to get the fielding award and how.
I'm going to give it to Kuldeep because he chased that ball to the boundary. It was LBW and he was told off for it. So they didn't do much fielding because they kept on getting them out bowled. It was quite an easy afternoon or evening for the Indian side. But I do like that as well. I do like the way that they present that. I think with Shreyas Iyer against Sri Lanka, he gets the medal and he's pumping his fists in the dressing room. Just those little things help. They help team kind of togetherness, banter in the team rooms, and those little things. They don't win you World Cups, but they just are little things that help you to win trophies. Which is it's looking like India are doing pretty much everything right at the minute.
The pre-match show, Zach and Michael, we spoke about the 5-star ratings and what you all would rate the teams. Suddenly, that rating seems a little dodgy because we rated the South African team as a better batting unit than India, but they were tested in how today, Zach? We've seen this team, we've seen how well they've done, but when they came against a top-quality bowling attack and when they were chasing, 83 is what they managed.
Well, today Indian team have made a statement in this tournament because South Africa was playing very good cricket in this tournament. So you look at it that way. Now, when you're looking at South African team, it's about how they get out of this loss. In the tournament, you've seen they've lost to Netherlands. So it's their campaign have been very contrasting. So they've been beaten by a team which no one was thinking that is going to do damage to any of the top teams, but they lost to them, and today they've lost to a best team in the tournament. So maybe it's one-off game for them. Maybe there are a lot of learnings for them to carry forward, but they came out of that loss very strongly. So that's how you will look at South African team. One bad day of cricket is not going to make them a bad team. So they're still going to be a threat in the tournament. They've already qualified for the semis. So that one pressure is not there when they play against Afghanistan. They know they have to reset and get into the semis with...
It might be a master plan. It might be the South African master plan that they want to play Australia in the
playing Koitzi in...
It might be their master plan. They've beaten the Aussies already, and they're looking at the league and thinking, yeah, we can take the Australians in a semi-final. It might be their master plan. It's the only excuse I can give them.
It's the only excuse you can give them. But I want to understand is, either you play bad shots or it's really top quality bowling. Against Sri Lanka, Zach, if we saw, there was just really good bowling that India done. But today, do you think there were few false shots and maybe South Africa could have batted better?
Oh, they could have batted a lot better. Yeah, I think there were some good balls. It's just the intent that I didn't like from South Africa. Could see it from pretty much straight away, and then they get obviously Quinton de Kock out, and he's a big kind of player for South Africa. It's a bit of a concern that every time he bats second, he doesn't get so many runs. When he bats first, I think it's 4 out of 5 times he's batted first, he's got 100. So there lies why we'd ever ask South Africa to bat first and give Quinny the chance to bat first. You shouldn't, but their approach was weak tonight. They'll be disappointed with their mindset because, as I said, against real quality, if you go out and just expect bad balls, they're not going to come. So you've got to make the bowler just start to be wary when he's running in that you might do something. You might try something. So, Zach, if you're running in and someone's just sitting there, these guys are so good, it'll just be thank you very much. So you as a batting unit have to have a team collective plan. We've got to try something. We've got to do something. Try and unsettle Brumler's length, Siraj's length, Shami's length. You can't just allow them to just keep bowling there and getting you out. So that's why I say now that teams aren't doing their research and their homework well enough going into the semi-finals, and whoever they may play and whoever may play India, they're not doing it well enough if they don't think that they have to try just something slightly different to try and derail India. Don't just expect, it's a semi-final, India aren't going to show up, they might panic. They're not going to panic. They are not going to panic. They're going to play a good game of cricket, so you have to work a way of playing an exceptional game to beat them.
Okay, so if I have to ask you all, who would your man of the match be, Zach? Who's it going to be for you?
It has
it's
to
a
be
tough one.
Virat. I think looking at the pitch, your first inning runs matter even more. To get to that total where you're going to have a chance of winning, providing that platform. After seeing the assistance for the spinners, you would kind of expect that spinners can do the job for you. It also becomes more evident in the afternoon. The spin was a factor, and Virat dealt with that. That partnership with Shreyas was a crucial one. So I think Virat is someone who should be the man of the match.
Well, Virat is the man of the match, and he has saluted the master with a lot of love. Michael, it is a very, very special day. Your 35th birthday. You come out. Tough conditions, get 100, get the man of the match. Like we said, he just knows how to write his own script.
Yeah, and he's very gracious there, what he says about Sachin. But he probably won't hit home that he's actually just matched what Sachin Tendulkar's done. When he was growing up playing the game, he'd have been idolising Sachin, watching Sachin, wanting to be Sachin. Then he plays with Sachin, around a World Cup team with Sachin in 2011, and in the last 12 years he's taken on that mantle. It's when I see sports people take on the mantle where everyone expects, it just it amazes me how they cope. Particularly here in India, how you cope with the adulation and the constant knowing, everyone knowing who you are. Wherever you go, everyone knows what you're doing, who you are, where you've been, studying everything that you do. And as I said in the com box, to think that Virat's got all this pressure and all these eyes on him all the time, that he can just watch the ball when he bats and react. I struggled when I was captain because there was external things that came into my mind. I got a little bit better the more that I did it, but nothing like what Virat Kohli, Sachin Tendulkar have to deal with. And it always amazes me how they can just cope with watching the ball. Maybe that's where they're most peace. Maybe Virat finds peace out in the middle. That's what he loves. He's got his bat in his hand. He's just in his own little world, his own zone. That's what he loves doing more than anything else in his life at the minute, apart from being obviously a great family man. And maybe that's where he finds his peace of just being able to watch the ball, because that's probably where he's at his happiest, and he's got a few years left. He'll get to 50 in this World Cup. It's written in the stars.
But Zach, in 2011, very emotional moment when he carried the master on his shoulders, and now in 2023, he's rubbing shoulders with the master. We see the love he's gotten. We've seen what he is, very special. You've played with him. You're very close to him. Did you see this kind of a legacy being left behind? Did you see that young boy who was all of 1920, did you see him becoming this great cricketer?
See, every time I talk about Virat, that one thing which stands out is that how driven he was. So that's something which to me was always exciting aspect of his approach to the game. That he always wanted to learn. He's very keen learner, and you look at his career also, how it's changed. He's someone actually not many at the beginning of his career would have predicted that, okay, this is how it's going to unfold. But it's just the sheer determination, that drive to learn things, to push boundaries, keep on adding things to your game, your skill set, is something which really got him going at the international level. And that's why you're seeing these numbers. So obviously, having Sachin as a benchmark is always a good thing, But for someone to think that, okay, this is the number which I'm chasing, and I have to do whatever it takes a lot of discipline, and the moment which you're talking about, 2011, is something which gives you that glimpse also of how he was thinking, or how he was looking at Sachin. And like I earlier mentioned, Sachin himself took two names when he was asked the question that, who next, who might be able to achieve something like this. And it was Rohit and Virat. So it was very evident that if these two cricketers stay on track and push themselves, believe in themselves, they will reach there. And Virat certainly has sprinted to these numbers and achieved them.
Well, it's been a very, very memorable day, and Virat's century on his birthday has made India go even higher on that net run rate. We'll have a look at the points table, because India is at the top with that queue next to them. So does South Africa have that queue, but that net run rate just goes higher. Australia, New Zealand, Australia on 3, New Zealand on 4. But Michael, technically, the table is still open for Afghanistan and for Sri Lanka.
Yeah, technically, I mean, I give Sri Lanka no chance with the way that they're playing. Afghanistan, they play great. They play the Aussies on Tuesday here in Mumbai. The pitch should suit Australia, but Afghanistan, you just never know with those spinners, and there's quite a few of their batters in decent form. It's Pakistan that I'll keep talking about. Pakistan playing England on, I think it's Friday or Saturday, and I believe New Zealand plays Sri Lanka on Thursday in Bangalore, and I'm got my weather people kind of texting me saying there's 80% chance of rain on that day. Surely New Zealand don't get affected by the rain once again, but that's the forecast. I'd love to see India-Pakistan in a semi-final, but I think there's a lot that needs to happen for that to come to the party.
Well, lots that will need to happen. But like I said, Sri Lanka's hopes are still alive, and they play Bangladesh tomorrow. So let's have a look at tomorrow's game when Bangladesh take on Sri Lanka in Delhi. Zach, of course, Bangladesh have not had a World Cup campaign. They'd want to remember. Sri Lanka have been hot and cold, I can say. But like I said, their campaign technically is still alive with a lot of calculations that will go down.
Yeah, looking at how today's game went, Sri Lanka will not feel that bad about their game against India. But on the whole, how things have been happening for Sri Lanka, they will be very happy about it. If you look at, say, last couple of years where the team was going, and now you're looking at this team getting settled with their approach, you're seeing a lot of good things happening around this team. So they would want to go out there and continue with that and finish with a win is something which they would want. Also, that Champions Trophy is something which everyone is talking about in a couple of years' time. So you don't want to miss out on that. And from that point of view, also this game is going to be important for them. Bangladesh have had a little disappointing tournament. They have more potential than what they've been displaying so far. So yeah, I would expect Sri Lanka to have a better game. Delhi pitch, that has been a high-scoring venue this year. So yeah, it will be a good game of cricket.
Well, Michael, we'll have a look at Sri Lanka's squad, but Sri Lanka coming from that big loss against India, 302 runs. Their batting really needs to step up. It's been very disappointing. Madhushanka was the pick of the bowlers the other day, but the batters really need to pull their socks up.
Yeah, I mean, and the captain's really out of form, which is never easy as a captain when you're kind of making the odd decision that's not really correct. He asked India to bat first in Mumbai. They get plenty, and he struggled with the bat. So Madhushanka really is the only kind of standout for Sri Lanka at the minute. He's been magnificent. He's getting the ball to swing back to the right hand. He's got lots of skill levels. They're always a dangerous team, Sri Lanka, as England found out in Bangalore when they blew England away, knocked them off quickly. So you're never quite sure. And I think they're missing 3 or 4 really high-class senior players. So I think Chris Silver will be disappointed that he's not got his main team here. And when you lose 4 quality players, I mean, England have got Jofra Archer missing. That's really it. So England have got their best team here apart from Jofra, and they've really struggled. I think when you're missing 4 experienced quality players like Sri Lanka, it doesn't surprise me that their performance levels have been a little bit inconsistent because there's quite a lot of youth in that team, quite a lot of inexperience. So that's why it's important that the captain finds a bit of form. Angela Matthews comes to the equation because of his experience. Delhi's always a pitch that you fancy getting a few runs on. It's small. I think it's 4 games that have been played there. 3 have been won by the team batting first. India the only team that have chased there and won. I think Bangladesh are all over the place. I really do. I look at Sri Lanka against India, and they threw the towel in, which is disappointing. But apart from that, I feel they've competed in the World Cup. Bangladesh, I just feel they're a group of individuals playing. I don't feel that they're cohesive, collectively playing as a group. I just feel that they're all looking after their own little worlds, which when you do that, you never get a team performance.
True, we'll have a look at Bangladesh squad because besides Mahmudullah, no one really has been impressive. Thankfully, Zach, they at least got him up to play at number 5. But just, like Michael was saying, they're not playing like a unit at all.
Yeah, they've not been consistent, and that's what I was trying to mention earlier also, that they've not lived up to the potential. Shakib also missed few games in between. Mehdi Miraj, Hassan also have not been very consistent. Liton Das is something they've been dependent on for that start, which also the tournament have not been the kind of tournament he would have liked for himself. Completely agree with Michael. It's not looking like a cohesive unit, and I think with Bangladesh, they've been patchy. If you see that on the whole, they've been part of the top teams for a while now. But the kind of progression you would have expected, they've not been able to come to that. And that's the disappointing aspect of it. So I think for them, post this World Cup, maybe things have to be looked at it again, get back to the drawing board, maybe set new systems in. Taskin and Mustafizur is someone who've been there for a while. Taskin have been good, but he also suffered some injury, missed few games. So that consistency and stability in a playing 11, in a squad which you look at, they've been missing that. You've seen it in Asia Cup also. A few injuries were not allowing them to have that consistency with picking playing 11 and creating a team which is going to understand each other's roles and go ahead. So that's something which they'll have to figure out for themselves.
Okay, Michael, if you have to pick one player each from each team for tomorrow, who's it going to be?
Mahmudullah for Bangladesh.
Yes.
He's the only one that looks like he can bat at the minute, so I'll pick Mahmudullah. Nissanka, I think Nissanka's a wonderful young player. He got a beauty from Bumrah. I don't think he'll receive the same first ball tomorrow. I think he might be able to get a start. So yeah, I really enjoy the way that he plays.
Zach, for you?
I think I'll pick both the captains actually. Okay. Shakib and Kushal, both of them.
Interesting choice there. We'll wait and watch. Prediction-wise, there was only one prediction that came right today. I don't need to remind everyone, but it was me. We'll wait and see if these predictions come right tomorrow. But now we should do what Zach has an answer to today, which we're all very proud of. Let's have a look at the joy factor question of the day. In 2014, what did Virat and David Warner do? That was last achieved by Arthur Morris and Dennis Compton at the same ground back in 1947.
Yeah, so the connection was centuries in both the innings, but I was thinking of the wrong game.
But that's all right. You've got the answer right. So we have to applaud.
I got the connection right.
Michael, we have to applaud because this is history made.
Yeah.
Zach, this is your first, isn't it?
No, but that happened in the same game.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the answer is opposing players scoring a century in each innings of a test, Adelaide 2014. We give it to you. Half the mark is also a full mark because you've
4 centuries between them. Can you
yes.
imagine?
Insane.
Tough day for bowlers.
Well, besides Zach, let's see who's got the answer right. Sure, we have a whole lot of people who've answered it, but who's answered it quickest is Charlene Shah. Congratulations on answering it the quickest. Like I'm promising you all, Joyda is not on the show, but whenever Joyda comes, we will make sure we either get him to do a jig, sing or do something for you all. It's a promise from Cricbuzz Live. We'll make it happen. And we've wrapped early today, guys. It is, like I said, Virat's birthday. A lot of parties planned. So it's time to have some cake because we don't know if Virat's going to have any cake. So Zach,
you are cutting the cake for Virat.
Yeah, I'm cutting the cake for Virat for equaling the great Sachin Tendulkar's record. We'll have double cakes when he breaks the 50th record as well, hopefully very soon. So we are going to go do a cake cutting. Everyone in India should be partying because, well, India is just winning games on a trot. Fingers crossed for all Indian fans. Let's go out and celebrate today. And we will catch you all tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. So see you all there.